They don't scream anymore. They just disconnect. A friend vanishes from your feed. A partner stops replying. And no one asks where they went. Because now, disappearing has become normal. Ghosting, muting, unfollowing, modern forms of social death. Not with a bang, but with silence. We've become experts at cutting people off and amateurs at truly connecting. But it wasn't always like this. People used to fight for friendships. They used to sit through discomfort just to save something real. Now the moment tension appears, the exit is closer than effort. The change wasn't sudden. It crept in gradually, one click at a time. More speed, more options, less depth, until we became what philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls the burnout society. Tired, overstimulated, flooded with stimulation, but starved of meaning. We work faster, scroll faster, love faster, and break faster too. The terrifying part? We think this is normal. We laugh less deeply. We listen only to reply. We spend more time polishing profiles than building character. And somewhere in the chase for convenience, we've traded intimacy for efficiency. We've optimized ourselves out of humanity. Even love has changed. It used to be a journey of learning someone's soul. Now, it's a swipe, a chat, an emoji. And when it gets hard, we replace, not repair. There was a time when people sat with their feelings. Now we label them as disorders and mute them with dopamine hits. Instant gratification is the god of this age, and patience, a relic of a forgotten world. How did we get here? Maybe it started with good intentions. A faster world, a smarter life, artificial intelligence to save us time, social media to connect us, digital tools to help us evolve. But instead of evolving, we've fragmented. As Yuval Noah Harari warns, humans risk becoming hackable animals, emotionally manipulated, behaviorally predictable, spiritually empty. The world became louder, so we stopped listening. The world became quicker, so we stopped thinking. Now, we exist in a world where the average attention span is 8 seconds, less than a goldfish, where we form opinions in headlines, not in reflection, where the news is emotional warfare, and every scroll is a new crisis. We've become tired, but not from doing too much, from doing too little of what actually matters. And perhaps the most terrifying shift is this. We've stopped being shocked by this. It no longer feels like a crisis. It feels like culture. We're losing not just time or attention, but things far more precious. We're losing touch with ourselves. We no longer ask, "Who am I?" We ask, "How do I appear?" We're losing empathy. People are reduced to comments, avatars, usernames. The more virtual the world becomes, the easier it is to dehumanize. We're losing ethics. Because in a world with no time to reflect, morality is just a mood. We're losing beauty because beauty requires slowness, and we're allergic to it now. We're losing culture because as global systems optimize for profit, local traditions, languages, and rituals are vanishing, one algorithm at a time. We're losing spirit. Because if everything is measured, quantified, and commodified, what space is left for mystery, for wonder, for the soul? And what happens if this continues? A world where children grow up learning emotional regulation from TikTok trends instead of their parents. A generation so socially aware, yet so spiritually disconnected. A future where AI writes our stories, cures our boredom, and finishes our sentences, but no longer understands us because we no longer understand ourselves. Nietzsche once said, "Man is a rope stretched between the animal and the superhuman, a rope over an abyss." But what if we're not stretching anymore? What if we're falling silently, stylishly, efficiently into that abyss? And worst of all, calling it progress. The terrifying thing about this new version of humanity is not just that it's different, but that it's increasingly irreversible. Because habits become identities, algorithms become ideologies, and over time, the very idea of depth feels foreign. But here's the part they don't put in the headlines. It doesn't have to end like this. We still have a choice, a hard one, but a real one. To remember, to return, to rebuild. It starts with small rebellions, slow conversations, deep reading, genuine apologies, unplugged mornings, spiritual silence. Because before we fix the world, we have to first fix the way we exist in it. Reconnect with values, with real community, with our elders, our ancestors, our stories. Reconnect with the parts of us that don't make noise, but make meaning. The soul doesn't scream, it whispers. And it's been whispering for a long time now. To turn off the noise, to look someone in the eyes again, to hold a moment and not rush it, to feel grief fully, to love slowly, to choose presence over productivity. This isn't nostalgia, it's resistance. Because in a world that wants you distracted, being grounded is a revolution. If we don't choose this, we may gain efficiency, but lose essence. We may conquer the external world, but abandon the internal one. We will build faster cities, but emptier homes. We will invent smarter machines, but raise lonelier humans. We will achieve more, know more, consume more, but feel nothing. But it doesn't have to be that way. People have changed, yes, but they can still change again. This time, not by force, but by choice. Not to become something new, but to remember who we were before the noise. If this spoke to something quiet in you, don't scroll away too fast. Share it, sit with it, and maybe live differently. And if you want to keep reflecting like this, subscribe. Not because it's trendy, but because it's human.